Let's get into something a little more serious. Since the two mass shootings over the weekend in El Paso and Dayton, the conversation around sensible gun regulation in America has been reignited. Because let's be honest, having two shootings back to back makes the conversation unavoidable. It's the same way forgetting your kid once at home means you're an unlucky mom, but if you do the same thing twice, social workers are coming in. And this weekend's tragedies seem to have motivated lawmakers in D.C. Some Republicans are proposing new red flag laws to take guns from people who show signs of threatening behavior, while many Democrats are focusing on things like universal background checks, renewing the assault weapons ban, and getting high-capacity magazines banned, which makes perfect sense. I mean, the mass shooter in Dayton had a gun that could fire 100 bullets before he needed to reload, which is insane. I don't care what anybody says. And I know some people will be like, we need guns to hunt. Yeah, but if you need 100 bullets to kill a deer, maybe you should try fishing. And while most legislators are trying to figure out which laws will curb future mass shootings, Fox News has chosen to spend most of their time telling people that shootings have nothing to do with guns. Starting with Mike Huckabee, who thinks we shouldn't have fewer guns, we should just have more God.
It's our cultural fault. And part of what we've done, we've created a culture in which we've said, there is no God. The common denominator in all of this is not the particular weapon. It's the hate inside the heart. It's the loss of morality. It's that disconnecting from a God who values all people and who would never let me do that to another person. That's just not how we're hardwired from the Father above.
Yes, according to Huckabee and many people on the right, the real problem in America is not access to guns. It's a lack of access to God. So if people were more religious, then they wouldn't do bad things. My only problem with this argument, the whole God argument, is that everyone seems to have a different idea of what God is saying, right? He says, like, God and evil will never mix. If you have God in your heart, you're a good person. But think about it. In the Middle Ages, the Crusaders said God told them to kill people in the Middle East. Hell, in the 1960s in America, white evangelicals said God told them black and white people shouldn't mix. So either people pick and choose when and how to use God, or maybe God's just so far away he's hard to hear, you know? Yeah. Maybe it's the distance. He's up there like, love thy neighbor. And people are like, what? Black people should be slaves? Like, I honestly don't know where Huckabee's getting this from, because even in the Bible, people who are close to God still do really bad things, right? Like there's the story of King David. He literally walked with God all the time. Like they hung out together. But that didn't stop David from killing a guy just so that he could sleep with his wife. That's in the Bible, by the way. David loved God, but he loved ass just a little bit more. Yeah. Look at him in that painting. Look at him in that painting. He's going, oh, gotta get that ass. Look at that face. David's nasty. So that's Huckabee. Leave guns alone and get it to God. Now, if you don't think religion is going to solve America's mass shootings, luckily the Presidential Advisory Network has another solution. Instead of fewer guns, they just say we need more parents.
These young men have no father at home. So you have to go back to some of the institutions and ask yourself, what's different about America now?
Nobody really believes this is about Donald Trump or assault weapons. If only young men are the problem. No communities, no fathers, no mentors, no initiations into personal responsibility.
What happens when boys are dad deprived is they don't have a male role model to channel their testosterone constructively.
Why does that guy sound so creepy when he's saying that?